Hello everyone, this is David Sterry and the Always Be Learning channel. Today's video is about trying to create or trying to build the software for the embassy device. That's this Raspberry Pi based device by Start9 Labs. They give you this nice little sticker set with it showing you some of the stuff that you can run, Bitcoin, Lightning, Bitwarden, different things. But I posted a video about this a couple weeks ago, and the issue or concern I had about it was that I didn't have root on the device, which they told me how to do it, and then also that I didn't know how to build the software myself. So something that has this kind of cypherpunk ethos to it. It's something where you do want to be able to build the software, verify that what you're running is really what is, sort of advertised. And so I spent a little time trying to build it in the last day and didn't have any luck, but I'll report about what I found. And then also I did want to spend this time to talk about the Cypherpunk philosophy. First of all, the issue itself, trying to build the software. Thankfully, after I posted that video, they released a guide, and I guess the source code had been available. And so what I did is I downloaded the source code, following the guide, and the big question for me was, what OS should I use to build it? And I thought, well, there's a chance that maybe it's been developed on Mac. So I tried it on the Mac, and I found that I needed to install Node and Haskell. When I ran make, it took a long time. It took sort of like, I don't know if it was my Mac going to sleep or whatever, but I left it running overnight. It was still going in the morning, building stuff in Haskell. And so at the end of it, finally, the make image script wants to use this tool called losetup, and Mac has its own version of something like that, but it didn't work. If I tried to do something similar with it, and the script didn't overall work. It didn't mount quite the same way as a as a read-write device, so that didn't work. But so next I'll try to do it on Ubuntu, and I'll report back what I find with that. But in terms of running the device, it's still going great. Have a Lightning node running on it, and haven't had any problems. I think that's kind of like the main use case that people will have right off the bat for it, and I can recommend it for that. And I say, despite all this attempt to build the software, that buying the device is probably the best bet for most people. So now I wanted to get to the Cypherpunk philosophy, because so many of the things that we use now, cryptography, networked tools, and infrastructure on the internet, has been really pushed forward, Bitcoin itself pushed forward by this Cypherpunk philosophy. And so I just wanted to go through, like, I don't know, 4 different kind of tenets in Cypherpunk philosophy, starting with freedom. Freedom being to play around, the freedom to build things. As long as you're not, breaking into systems or hurting anyone else, you should have the freedom to examine source code and see how things work, improve devices, improve software. So freedom's an important part of it. Next is privacy, and a lot of people forget what privacy's for. It's really in order to combat tyranny. You want to be able to get information together and get people together to combat tyranny. So in the past, privacy has been attacked in order to maintain power. And it's hard to know which way things go historically, if sort of with butterfly effect and everything. But privacy is an important part of Cypherpunk. Next is trustlessness. And what I mean by trustlessness is you're not trusting a third party to do anything, to keep any particular commitment, right? So if it's money, you're not handing the money over to somebody. If it's your data, you're not having to hand the data over to them. You're having things on your own computer or on a server that you maintain and have physical control over. That's kind of part of the trustless world and part of Cypherpunk philosophy. Next is, and probably last I would say, is decentralization. And what decentralization means is, if you look at a network, look at Google, for example. We log into the Google server, we do our searches. All we do is we send it a search query and it sends us back results. But if Google were to go down, then we wouldn't be able to use Google, right? You contrast that with something like a distributed hash table, where you have a network of all these different nodes, and they're maintaining among them a database of things that you can search, and you can send out a query. Now, if one of those nodes were to go down, the system would still stay up. If 50% of those nodes were to go down, the system would still stay up. And so decentralization means that you don't have like a single point of failure. There's no single head to cut off to kill the beast, so to speak. So I think cypherpunks like decentralization because it creates a sort of immortality, a sort of power that's unrelenting. It's similar to what nature itself gives us with forces of gravity and electromagnetism. These four things, freedom, privacy, trustlessness, and decentralization, I think are the core pieces to cypherpunk philosophy. I feel like there might be something else, but it would have to be minor, or I'd love to hear about it if it's something that you would like to share. So like I said, with the embassy, next I'm going to try building on Ubuntu, and I'll report back on that. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or next week or when, but it is something I'm interested in trying. And like with that, I really want to either be able to do it myself, or to know that, you know, a few other people have done it in a way that I could say, okay, they're not faking this, it's not some kind of malware thing. If you like this video, then subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when new content is posted. Again, this is the Always Be Learning channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.